Okay, it's August 29th, 2024. My name is Anthony Karam. And I feel it's my responsibility, because nobody else is doing it, to tell you leaders of this country what you have to consider regarding abortion. I'll try to make it as fast as possible. A baby an embryo is a unborn baby. It's a human being. Let's just face the facts. Now, there's a mother and there's a father, normally speaking, of natural reproduction for humans. It's generally between a man and a woman. Now, there's chromosomes involved. The human DNA the normal human DNA has 26 chromosomes. I think it's 46 chromosomes. 23 comes from the mother and 23 comes from the father. This is very important. The tissue, who does the tissue belong to? It belongs to the father and the mother. They made a physical agreement under normal conditions to have that conception, to have that child. So they're responsible for that child, nobody else. Unless there's illegal actions happening to prevent that child from being born. Once the child was conceived, once it turned into an embryo, as far as I'm concerned, it's a living human being. Now, you can't abort that child legally, unilaterally, just with the woman's consent. No, that's wrong. And every man that has fathered a child has the same right as the woman to that child. Now, if the woman wants to abort that child, that's fine. That's her decision. But she can't do it without the father's permission. If she does trick the father and abort the child without telling him, that's a criminal act and should be punished. And if the doctors don't have any release papers on the abortion from the father, then that father and all fathers who wanted that child have a legal action against those entities. They can put them all in jail for murder or something that the Supreme Court will judge upon. And this needs to be done. It needs to be done quickly. Mr. Trump, Mr. Benson, Ms. Harris, Mrs. Harris, you need to address this problem. All of you. You can't put it under Michigan or under state law anymore. And any deprivation of life is killing. You deprive a living entity of its life, you killed it. There's no statute of limitations on murder. So get ready in the court systems, because no one has addressed this that I know of. That this is punishable. I would say 5 years in prison and $150,000 fine right off the bat if the woman tries to abort that child without notifying the father and or without getting a release from the father. And if she can't show that she couldn't contact the father, he wasn't around, well, it's all going to be dependent on the court systems. But she cannot unilaterally have the right to kill 50% of the father's DNA without his permission. Now, I do believe IVF, in vitro fertilization, they got to get a release from the sperm donors of these fathers in order for them to create an embryo. So now I put that out. I hope it gains public knowledge, and I hope we save some lives. Because I used to be a father. I had a child as an embryo in the woman. I told her, I said, I'm not going to marry you. I told her that you can live with me. I don't want to get married. I'll pay for everything, pay for the child, pay for you can live here free, you don't have to pay anything. You just have to quit smoking. Well, she told me I'm not going to quit smoking. She thought about it for a day or two, and she says, I'm going to get an abortion. I said, you better think about that. She went right to the hospital, got the doctors, got an abortion. I couldn't do anything about it. I called the hospital. I told them to stop it. I don't approve of this. And they did it anyways. Thanks for watching.